Okay, good morning, all. I am K. Venkateshwara, working as assistant professor in Nallan Separate Engineering College. Okay, today the topic is Davison and Germer experiment. Right, this is a topic which we have selected from the quantum mechanics. Right, in the previous classes we have discussed about the dual nature of matter, that is, existence of duality, wave nature, particle nature simultaneously. For example, if you take any matter that can possess particle nature, wave nature. In this today's topic, so in the Davison and Germer experiment, they finally conclude that particle can possess wave nature. That's why you can say this is one of the experimental evidence for existence of matter waves, that is duality. Theoretically, we have seen what are matter waves. Matter waves are nothing but waves associated with moving particles, and for that experimental proof is Davison-Germer experiment. In this experiment, Davison and Germer, both are the scientists, they have taken the electrons, they have accelerated the electrons with some potential, and finally they conclude that means they have estimated wavelength for the electron. Actually, wavelength is one of the characteristics of wave, but they have taken electrons, but finally they found wavelength, and also they explained the wavelength from the Bragg's equation, whereas Bragg's equation is suitable for diffraction. That's why the conclusion about this experiment is particle can possess wave nature. Right? Now we will see how they derived or how they conclude the or how they explain electrons can possess the wave nature. For that, okay, in the year 1927, they explained or they performed this experiment for the evidence of matter waves. So in this, so if you see the experimental setup containing tungsten filament. This is tungsten filament. This tungsten filament connected to battery, and they have taken a small pinhole to get the electrons. When they accelerate tungsten filament, when they connect the tungsten filament to battery, and then when they apply some potential difference, then electrons are coming out through the tungsten filament. To get in pencil beam, they have taken a small hole from that. A nickel plate, a single crystal nickel plate has taken, and circular scale also is there in this experiment, right? And one more part is Faraday cylinder, double-walled Faraday cylinder, right? And one more is galvanometer. So these are the parts. For example, once again we will see the experimental setup. In this experimental setup, a tungsten filament connected to battery, right? There is a small pinhole, right? This is useful for electrons propagation, and a nickel plate is kept after the arrangement of this electron gun, right? Electron gun consisting of tungsten filament, all those. Next, a semicircular scale is kept. On the semicircular scale, there is a one double-walled cylinder which is said to be Faraday cylinder, and Faraday cylinder connected to the galvanometer. Principally, galvanometer connected to Faraday cylinder and ground rate. Now, the working or explanation of this experiment is Davison and Germer, they found that when they accelerated the electrons with some potential difference, they got diffracted at a metal target, and they have collected or reflected electrons through the Faraday cylinder, right? And from this, they estimated the intensity of the reflected waves. And now, in their experiment, when they operated this electron gun with 54-volt potential difference, they got high intensity. Like if you see here, we have taken intensity on y-axis and angles, diffraction angles on x-axis. They have taken this experiment and they completed for, they have taken the from 20 degrees to 90 degrees. In this 20 degrees to 90 degrees, the intensity is reach a maximum, and then it means they got maximum intensity at an angle of 50 degrees, right? And they got this 50 degrees angle between the incident ray and reflected ray at a 54 volts potential difference. Coming to the working, they have applied 54 volt. Now electrons accelerated, the electrons which are accelerated from this tungsten filament incident on the nickel plate, and they got reflected. These reflected rays, reflected electrons are collected by tungsten filament. These reflected electrons are collected by Faraday cylinder. The Faraday cylinder having double walled, right, which is movable on the circular scale, right? Now, for example, they operated this experiment with different potential difference. When they operated with 54 volt, they got 50 degrees as the angle between incident electron and reflected electron. This is 50 degrees. When Faraday cylinder consisting two double walls, right, the retard potential is maintained between these two double walls, right? When electrons incident on nickel plate, they got reflected, but these reflections from this, what estimated intensity of the radiation. Now, when this is 50 degrees, if you take normal here, diffraction angle becoming as 65 degrees. Diffraction angle is becoming as 65 degrees. So, nickel plate, crystal oxide consisting of number of crystal plates, right? How they estimated means simply we can rotate the cylinder on the surface of the scale, right? And whenever the Faraday cylinder collects the electrons, then galvanometer shows deflections. From this, we can say that electrons coming, then electrons with by the velocity of electrons, we can say a few electrons can accelerate with high velocity, few electrons may be with low velocity. Right? When the Faraday cylinder collects the electrons which accelerate with high velocity, then only galvanometer shows deflections. Right? Now here, after this experiment, after finding these angles, they found that the wavelength of the electrons, accelerated electron, has 12.27 by root V angstroms. Actually, this is one of the formula which we have taken from the de Broglie's matter wave. Right? The de Broglie matter wave wavelength is lambda is equal to 12.27 by root V when the electron is accelerated with some potential difference V. And here potential difference is 54 volt, 12.27 by root 54 angstroms. 1 angstrom is equal to 10 power minus 10 meters. So finally they got 1.647. Okay? This is one of them. When they have taken the potential difference, right, which are coming electrons, by applying this voltage, they got wavelength. Actually, wavelength is one of the property of wave. And from the experiment, they conclude that they observed that the more intensity got at an angle of 50 degrees. Now, if we go to the Bragg's equation is nothing but n lambda is 2d sin theta. It means whenever wave got diffracted, it must satisfy one condition, that is n lambda is equal to 2d sin theta. Where lambda is wavelength of the wave, n is order of diffraction, d is interplanar spacing, or these are different distance between two successive planes, and theta is the diffraction angle. From this experiment, the theta angle is 65 degrees. And they observed the first order diffraction. That's why from this here we are writing n is equal to 1, and the interplanar spacing for nickel plate is 0.9 angstroms, 0.9 into 10 power minus 10. That is 0.9 into 10 power minus 10 meters. This is the value. Now by substituting all the values, here angle is 65 degrees. Right? Then lambda is equals to here 1 we are substituting these values in equation number 2. In equation number 2. Right? So that is lambda is equal to 2 into 0.9 into 10 power minus 10 into sine of 65 degrees. That is lambda is equal to, finally we got here 1.64 angstroms. Right? This is equation number 3. From